Hi guys, it is time for my monthly, basically is your ex coming back. It is usually due end of the first week each month. So this is our November and the first week of December. These are actually the cards from a different deck. I actually do have exactly the same cards in this deck, and I have developed this spread that I called Cat Tarot Knows or X spread, but it also can apply to actually current on and off relationships and sometimes tricky relationships. When I do the private reading, if you're in a relationship, I kind of like use this King of Wands versus Knight of Wands, and I use generic Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands for a reason. So I'm going to spend just a minute to explain this category. So don't start telling me, oh, you're having the same in the same video. Yes, I actually do, because these are just titles of the book that I want to figure out for each sign what's happening this particular month. So the very first category, the Magician. The Magician is the creator, right? This category number one is a starter category. Is this relationship a starter? You know that maybe you want it, but sometimes just circumstances or people are against us. Maybe, you know, we live in different cities. Maybe, you know, temptation is just too much. Maybe family is against it. Maybe we just never find time to see each other. That this is all going to show up in this category. So even if this says you guys are good to go and you will have a happy relationship, if you don't see each other, it just simply kind of like fade away. So this is kind of relationship that's going, this is kind of category that's going to explore that. Then I have here Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because in the upright position, Temperance is talking about patience, and for every relationship we need patience, even though they are selling us and they fell in love and that kind of stuff. Okay, let me be a little bit skeptical about that, right? It happens to all of us. We all crave that, but we do know that something that kind of like turns into flame really quickly also really quickly kind of like fades away. So Temperance talks about merging two very different liquids together, talks about alchemists, talks about seeing this vision for these two people creating their own kingdom, right? The angel. Now, when Temperance is reversed, something is not gelling. Something is not right. Either it's not the right person, or it's not the right time, or it's not the right place, or just not the right circumstances. So these two categories, as you can see, are very important and they are circumstantial. Then it's going to be about you and about your partner, whether you are in a relationship or not. Even though Queen of Wands generally talks about fire signs and King of Wands talk about fire signs, in this particular readings, I am just dedicating this to be you. Why? Because if we have any issues in a relationship, we always have to take a few steps back, sometimes all the way back to dating, sometimes kind of like really figuring out, okay, so what do I want to do and how do I really want to, you know, seduce this person all over again. I want him to see me with fresh eyes, or I want her to see me as powerful and important. So hence we kind of take on this role of Queen of Wands for ladies, or role of Knight of Wands, or King of Wands for gentlemen. So King of Wands is slower than Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the one who will chase you and eventually is going to settle in for King of Wands. So that's kind of the difference. And Eight of Wands is generally love arrows and communication and the energy card, right? It goes literally, you can see the arrows of love flying in this direction. So I really want to see what's happening here. Is this combination proper? Because sometimes we read into things that other persons say and we create our own reality, or maybe this reality doesn't exist. So it's just going to here tell me in this category what the partner thinks about you or what she thinks about you. And here, kind of like how is this communication flowing, if at all. Now this is my karma card. I have 4 karma cards. The karmic cards that I designate as karmic cards are Judgment, Justice, Ace of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. There is a reason for all of them. In this particular card, it's kind of really important for me to see kind of like the emotions from the past that are currently kind of like being looked upon. So this is simply just, again, if you're getting blessings in this relationship, if things from the above looked upon kind of like are favorable, it's kind of like it's not really your will, but it is something that basically depends on kind of like really higher level of thinking. And this card for Wands, which is my relationship, next level, long term, going to the next stage card, is going to tell me about the quality of your relationship. So this is kind of in short description. So hopefully you listen through it, because now I'm going to just jump in and I'm going to just roll out the cards and we can go with that. Okay, so talk to you soon. Hi Gemini, welcome to your relationship is your ex coming back spread. Just the preface, the reading, this is general reading. This may be entirely or partially your situation. Contact me via www.cattarot for your private reading. So let's just jump in. Wow, the first 10 days somebody is going to receive or give a love offer, extension of, hey, I like you, I want to be with you. What needs to be glued? Lots of water under the bridge. Have been since maybe certain things worked out or felt right here. So how are you seen, Gemini? You are seen, hey, you guys get to be always playing devil's advocate, and you're really being seen this way. You're being seen as a troublemaker. You're being seen as somebody who is creating imbalance. Being seen somebody who kind of like doesn't understand the boundaries that you have been told, don't go, push this, and you push and you push and you double down. So you are maybe one giving an offer, but you're getting a pushback. So let's see the communication here. So this is the first 10 days that I'm looking here. And if you're like jumping in and this is not the 5th to 15th, then it's 10 days that is applicable to you. So this is saying, guys, that maybe it's a time for a new stage, relationship, or just in life. So we're going to see. As far as your partner, well, actually you might be lucky. Your partner actually wants it as well, and not the way it was. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be right? Do you want to pin and needle somebody? Or you want to be happy? It's saying the second chance is offered here. This is what the karma is saying. And quality of relationship, only if you're honest, things will go forward. Actually, very soon. You can as well knock on somebody's door, but curb your enthusiasm to be prickly. So let's see the second 10 days. How is this going to settle in? So this is a good card. It talks about the team building and kind of like trying to see how to actually be constructive. What needs to be glued is actually running away from problems. Certain things, and this is not a solution either, like just not to look in certain things, not to deal and not to talk about certain issues, that kind of exists here. That kind of worries me a little bit. And how you're seen, you're actually seen as somebody who maybe spends too much money. My Queen of Pentacles is also like my wife card, but sort of like either you don't want to commit, or as I said, you're spending too much money, or as if you want something overly fast, overly proper. Mind you, this also, your partner looks like seemingly is interested in going to the next stage. So let's see how this revolves. This also could mean that you will ask for firm commitment, or they will ask it of you, and that's going to come to a screeching halt, and it's going to expose the entire underbelly of everything that hasn't been built properly. It's going to be, am I ready for it? Can I do it? It's one thing when you dream about it. Another thing is like when you like really have to say a yes or no. There is your karma card. So this is kind of karmic thing. So this is 19, which is 1 and 9 is 10, and here you have 10. This is saying that right now you're on the up and up. So even though this kind of came as a shock, that it's going to settle in really nicely. It's going to go, okay, actually I'm cool with this. However, there's still a feeling of something missing, or something is not right, or maybe I'm missing the right thing. Maybe I should wait a little bit longer. Right? There are like 2 fours now that talks about building fours. So there is hesitation actually on both sides. So it's kind of weird because both of you will be saying, yes, I want it. Yeah, I want to go further. But it's going to be turbulence between the two of you. And you will be really thinking to yourself, gee, okay, I'm going with this, but am I ready? Kind of like, right? And it's saying, look, guys, life is hard. If you're juggling these 2 solutions, should I go, should I not go, this is kind of like really heavily going to impact where you go from there. This is not a greatest card. It could mean juggling 2 people. You see, this is a stepping back. So maybe you rushed, fools rushed in, and now coming back to wondering, okay, so how and where do I go from there, right? And that would be the second 10 days, or the 15th to 25th. So let's see 26th to, let's say, 5th or the 7th of December, or any last 10 days since you are like viewing this. Yeah, look at this. We have a second 2 reversed. Kind of like you are really not sold on going further with that. Kind of romance was nice. Commitment, There is another 2, also reversed, saying, kind of like, the High Priestess is always about secrets. It's always about learning on your own skin. And something I think looked better as a romance, as this kind of Romeo and Juliet thing. But when it kind of grounds down to, okay, you have to be a wife or a husband, oh my gosh, like, you know, I have to do that. That kind of like you're realizing maybe this is another role for me, and there you go. It could be also second person in this whole thing, or maybe you're shifting from, okay, maybe I'm not a wife, I actually really want to be a lover. But this is also a very superficial quality in a Queen of Wands reverse. She's kind of very pretty, very sexy, but maybe the partner is failing to see you as a wife. And then maybe also feel like, oh my gosh, how can you not see it? This is such a romance. And then you're like turning off the notch, and then you're being extra sexy, not realizing that actually you are closing yourself from him. See, that's this closing yourself, holding this hands right in front of your heart chakra, and saying, look at how sexy I am. The truth is that people really want to be with somebody who gives them comfort, not who is a trophy, unless you have some issues, right? So what's going to happen? There is a sense of struggle and maybe even giving up. The partner doesn't want to give up. The partner is still fantasizing and still having lofty ideas, and maybe even too many ideas, right? After rejecting everything, and maybe you kind of had the issues, you're rejecting everything, nothing is right for you. You maybe want to kind of like carve who I'm supposed to be, and you know how I'm supposed to live my life, and I don't feel comfortable with that. They keep going on in that direction, or maybe they're trying to really lure you into, look, we can get everything, right? We can be a power couple. But karma is saying, be very careful. There is an opportunity, but you guys are rushing in. This should be really slow. Pentacles, this will be friendship card, this could be long-term card, but when it's reversed, it's really warning that the opportunity can be lost. You see, it's backtracking energy, like from 3 to 2 to 1. And finally it gets to a halt. So Gemini, not moving, not progressing. Nobody is really living up to their expectation. One partner is like, you know, dreamland, la la land, I would even say. Kind of look at the two aces and moving forward and then getting stuck and then talking about the marriage and relationships and going to the next stage. There's like this moving forward and collapse. It will be really interesting. It's lots of stories here, even though it can be another person, but I kind of like more like see you going in a different kind of qualitative level. So Gemini, please give me your input. I would like to know what this is all about. And yeah, for your private reading, contact me at www.cattarot.ca. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful month and I wish you all the best.